Okay, it is our third class. We are discussing about an excellent book, Spiritual Connection, Understanding the Dynamics of Guru-Disciple Relationship. It is written by His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodar Swami Maharaj. In our earlier class about the second chapter, Why a Living Guru. We have discussed that we need a living Guru, and our parampara, the scriptures, they are also prescribing for a living Guru. There is no option for a non-living Guru or for a Ritik Guru. So if we want to progress in our spiritual path, then the only option open to us is to accept a living Guru. Okay. Srila Prabhupada gave the example that if a child does not has its parents in their body or living parent, then a child cannot be properly educated or advanced. To advance, a child need living parent. We are also spiritual child. So if we want to advance in spiritual path, we must accept living Guru. But there are many persons who does not want to have living Guru, because if he accept a living Guru, then he will not do whatever he want. There will be many restrictions imposed by his Gurudev, and if necessary, Gurudev would chastise him, would punish him, and if this chastisement and punishment is contrary to his so-called prestige, then he would not want to accept a guru. But any serious spiritual student, he pray for chastisement, he pray for punishment from his guru, because in this way he would be corrected. So if we want seriously progress in our spiritual path, we should accept living guru. And there is a living parampara started from Krishna. After Srila Prabhupada, his qualified disciples are now serving as guru of ISKCON. So within ISKCON, there are a number of highly qualified living guru. So why should we not accept this golden chance? We should accept it. And at the last portion of our previous class, we also discussed that Guru and Krishna, they are like two parallel lines. They cannot be separated. Rather, they are always connected. When a person wants to know Krishna seriously, then Krishna arranges for bona fide Gurudev. And that person came in contact with the bona fide Gurudev, And that Gurudev trained the person to be a pure devotee. And in that way, Gurudev send that person back to Krishna. So in this way, Gurudev and Krishna, they are working like a team game. Krishna will supply us bona fide Guru, and Guru will send us to Krishna. So in this way, a cycle will be completed. So they are like two parallel lines. We have to consider it, and one cannot be separated from other. So we need a Gurudev to have Krishna. Now the question is, how shall we find a bona fide Guru? What is the process? This process is very clearly described in this book. Maharaj said here that this is a divine arrangement. How shall we find a bona fide Gurudev? It will not depend upon us. Rather, it is the divine arrangement of Krishna. Krishna is within our heart. He is checking what is going on inside the heart. He is judging our seriousness. When Krishna will be sure enough that we are truly serious for our spiritual journey, then Krishna will make the divine arrangement so that we may have a bona fide Guru. If Krishna judges us as some cheater, if Krishna sees that we are not serious in our spiritual journey, rather we want to accept Guru just as a safeguard from many dangers, many sufferings, etc. We want to use our Gurudev as a safety valve from material calamities, material dangers, inconveniences. So this is a cheating approach. When our approach is like that, then Krishna provides us with a cheater Guru. For a cheater disciple, there is cheater Guru. And for a serious disciple, there is always present serious Gurudev. So Krishna will arrange it depending on our mentality. And this is our good fortune. Especially it is my good fortune, because though I am not serious at all, still it is the causeless mercy of Krishna. He has arranged for a bona fide Gurudev for myself. I don't know why Krishna arranged it. There is no reason, because there is lacking of my seriousness. I realize it, but still somehow it happened by the mercy of Krishna and Prabhupada. But in general, when we are serious, we get bona fide Guru. When we are not serious, we get cheater Guru. So arrangement is there. Depending on the mentality, Krishna has made beautiful arrangements. Okay. There is a very good example. Rather, there are several examples about the divine arrangement. Actually, this is a very beautiful approach to write a book or to deliver a lecture. When we would deliver a lecture about some difficult subject matter, or when we would try to write a book about some difficult subject matter, then we should not merely give the statement. Rather, we should give some example, we should give some personal uh, experience, we should give some analogy. This is the quality of a good teacher who, by giving examples, analogies, experiences, he will make the difficult subject easier to us. In this way, we have seen that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has uh, shared us very, uh, very relevant examples, experiences, and analogies. So Krishna is the absolute teacher, and the pure devotee of ISKCON, being the disciple of Srila Prabhupada and being the follower of Krishna, they also uh, became very expert to make a difficult subject easier. So in this way, Maharaj mentioned here a very good example of the divine guru and disciple arrangement. He spoke about Sukdev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. We know that Sukdev Goswami, he was so exalted, pure devotee. He lived in deep forest, in a very remote area, far away from locality. And his position was so exalted that he was far away from politics and from the contemporary newses also. He had no WhatsApp, no Facebook, no question of YouTube. So Sukdev Goswami, mm, he might not aware about what was going on in the life of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj, being the king of the whole universe, he got cursed by a Brahman boy. And he was cursed that at the seventh day, Toksok will cut him and he would die after 7 days. This is the problem of Parikshit Maharaj. This is the problem of his family, his kingdom. But Sukdev Goswami was far away from everything. He lived in so deep forest. He came to the locality once for a day at the very early morning. He would go to a householder and he would seek for a glass of milk. And he would stay at the house of a householder. For that minimum time, which was needed to collect a glass of milk from cow. After accepting the glass of milk, He drank the milk, and as soon as he drank it, he left the house and the locality, and he went to his deep forest. Now the question is, we are astonished to uh, consider how Sukdev Goswami was aware about the curse of Parikshit Maharaj. When Parikshit Maharaj left his kingdom and went to the bank of the Ganges and decided to fast until death comes. At that place, many exalted devotees, rishis, yogis, they were present in front of Parikshit Maharaj. Now, the rishis, yogis, they were uh, very much connected with local people. So they somehow got the news. It is very natural. But as Sukdev Goswami lived in a deep forest, so how he came to know that Parikshit Maharaj was about to die, and how he came to know that at this very time Parikshit Maharaj needed a bona fide guru to guide him. How Sukdev Goswami knew it? Very surprising. What may be the answer? Please raise your hand. Who want to say about it? How he knew it? Bimal Krishna Prabhu, what is your opinion?
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
From this history, we come to realize that it is nothing but a drama, and a script has been made by the Lord Krishna. And it is the part of drama that Sukdev Goswami has come under his supervision. When Purukshit Maharaj left his kingdom, everything he left, after his arrival in the riverside, then Gurudev, under supervision of Lord Krishna, Sukdev Goswami has came. Here is another relation between Guru and, and the devotee. But Guru and devotee, when Guru came to the Parikshit Maharaj, but it has done under supervision, under intimation of Lord Krishna.
Okay.
I realized.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your divine realization. It is a fact, actually. This is the arrangement of Krishna. Otherwise, this could not happen. So, Krishna arranged for bona fide Gurudev for Parikshit Maharaj. Why? Why Krishna arranged it? Because Krishna is always inclined to his devotees. Krishna is never neutral, rather, he is inclined to his devotees. He takes complete care of his devotees, of their necessities, and he arranged for Gurudev. This is not the uh, only one example. Rather, there are several examples of his divine arrangement in our previous history and in our modern history also. There are examples of Narad Muni and Dhruva Maharaj. You have heard it. when Dhruva Maharaj decided to go to the forest, forest means Vrindavan, for rendering austerity, then who guided him? It was Narad Muni who guided the small child Dhruva about the spiritual practice. Under the guidance of Narad Muni, Dhruva Maharaj, within only 6 months, got the divine darshan of Krishna, and his all problems were solved. He was benedicted by Krishna. There are many other examples of Jadabharat and King Rahugan. Have you heard about it? Anyone? Jadabharat and King Rahugan? Please raise your hand. Because we want to interactive class. Okay, Rangalekha Mataji. Please share your opinion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Rahugan, the meeting of Rahugan and Bharat Maharaj was also example of Krishna's planning, because Bharat Maharaj met with Rahugan. He was a king, and he carrying a palki. It's called of swing, kind of swing, and this is palki, and he was carrying, and that time he was jumping, and he was trying to avoid smash any kind of insects or others living objects. And that time Rahugan noticed who was there, and Rahugan questioned to another servant. Then he answered that Bharat Maharaj was there, and this time he was known as Jaro Bharat. And then Rahugan, when met and communicate with Jaro Bharat, then he realized that, wow, what a kind person. He was not a simple or normal person. He has the question, who am I, from where we came here, and another else. And then Rahugan felt that he was not a simple or normal person. He was like a guru, or like a Atto Tattva Gyan, who has the Atto Tattva Gyan, spiritual knowledge. Then the lifestyle of Rahugan also changed by the meeting of Bharat Maharaj. And this time we also noticed that this is also the Krishna's exceptional planning for his devotee, Bharat
Okay.
Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, then what we have heard just 1 minute ago, Bharat Maharaj became Jaro Bharat in his next life, and he was appointed as a carrier of the chariot of the king. The name of the king was Rahugan, and by some arrangement of Krishna, Jaro Bharat advised King Rahugan about the Bhagavad Dharma. Raghugan was so impressed about the deep knowledge of the Bharat Maharaj that he accepted Jada Bharat as his spiritual master. And in this way, King Raghugan was uplifted in his spiritual path. There is another example of Lord Shiva and Pracheta. There was 10,000 Pracheta. They wanted to have the love to the Godhead, and for their upliftment, Krishna arranged for their Gurudev, and Lord Shiva was their Gurudev. Lord Shiva advised them about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and Lord Shiva sang the Rudra Geet. Very nice Rudra Geet. You must read the Rudra Geet Kirtan in Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the Rudra Geet Kirtan, Lord Shiva told very openly that all of us has the single duty to serve Krishna. Krishna is the supreme God, and every living creature, every human being, their duty is to serve Krishna. In this way, Prachetas, they started to serve Krishna. So these are the phenomenon in our ancient history, how Krishna arranged for divine Gurudev. There are many examples in our modern history also. Srila Prabhupada, he met his Gurudev by Krishna's arrangements. And also Srila Prabhupada went to America, and in that uh, state of Koli, Srila Prabhupada advised some thousands Americans, Europeans about the Bhagavad Dharma. And as those Americans and Europeans accepted Srila Prabhupada's words very seriously, so their life had been changed. And one day they became pure devotee of Lord. So this divine arrangement is going on. It has occurred in ancient times. It is going on today. And of course, in future also, Krishna will make this arrangement for a serious devotee. Now we should jump to the next chapter, chapter 3. In this chapter, we shall discuss about the mercy factor of Gurudev. In one side, we should hear about the cards of Gurudev, and other side, we should hear about the mercy of Gurudev. Very important for every devotee. So we should hear it very attentively. In the beginning, the author took the example of Indra, the king of the demigod Indra. Indra was very much puffed up for his unending wealth, his power, and whatever he had. The Gurudev of Indra was Brihaspati. Brihaspati, very exalted Brahman. But Brihaspati used to come to the association of Indra every day. Brihaspati used to came there. Brihaspati used to sat beside Indra, and Brihaspati used to give his divine association to Indra. But unfortunately, Indra, being puffed up by the unending wealth given by Krishna, he has took it in a very cheap way. Indra thought that Brihaspati is also a common person like other demigods who are dependent on the mercy of Indra. Actually, Indra was the king of the demigods, so there were many persons who always wanted to satisfy Krishna, to please Krishna, to please Indra, to satisfy Indra for having some mercy from Indra. But one should not think about his Gurudev like this. Gurudev, a true Gurudev, never depend upon his disciple. A true Gurudev only depend on Krishna. Indra forgot it. One day, when Brihaspati came to Indra in his so-called Raj Sabha, Indra even did not receive Brihaspati according to the protocol. Rather, he ignored Brihaspati. In this way, Indra committed a great offense at the lotus feet of Gurudev Brihaspati. And when Indra committed that offense, then and there, his fortune, his strength, his good luck, everything disappeared. Because if we offend, if we commit offense to our Gurudev, then our situation will be very deplorable. So was the case with Indra also. And at that time, the demons attacked Swargolok, and there were a heavy battle with the demons and the demigods. Though demigods were more powerful than demons, but the king of the demigod, he has lost his fortune by committing offense to his Gurudev. On the other side, what was the case about the demons? Who was the Gurudev of the demon? Sukracharya. Though Sukracharya was not a pure devotee, but he was a qualified Brahman. And the demons, they have full respect to their Gurudev. They honored their Gurudev very much, and they abide by the order of their Gurudev. In this way, they pleased their Gurudev, and Shukracharya blessed his disciples very much. So, by the mercy of their Gurudev, demons became extremely powerful in that battle, and demigods became very weak. So, when Indra went to the Brahma and prayed for the help from Brahma, then Brahma scolded Indra that you are a nonsense. You have committed offense to your Gurudev, and for that reason, you have lost your strength and fortune. So now you have to face the consequences. What shall I do? In the conclusion of the sub-chapter, the author said, a disciple is now nowhere and is nothing without the mercy of the spiritual master. I repeat, a disciple is nowhere and is nothing without the mercy of the spiritual master. He is important and successful in as much as he has the blessings of his Guru upon his head. These are the key concepts. So any disciple should only depend on the mercy of the Gurudev. Whatever be his position, whatever knowledge he has, it does not matter at all. We should only depend upon the mercy of Gurudev. When we forget about that mercy factor, then we begin to invite serious problems in our spiritual life. Okay. So the next chapter, the headline is the mercy factor. We have already provided with the PDF file of the third chapter. For the request of Tulsi Mataji. So I think we have already studied it. Okay, we shall just discuss about this chapter. Maharaj wrote here that when a person tries to swim across an ocean by his own strength, he cannot do it. It is not possible. There is no example in the history that any person can cross over the ocean. Then what is the chance for us? There is chance to cross over the ocean if we pray for the help of the Gurudev, and by the grace of the Gurudev, any ship or boat would come to rescue us. And in this way, we may cross over the ocean. So we should not depend on our own strength. Rather, always we should think that Guru Kipa Hi Kevalam. Mercy of Gurudev is my only strength, nothing else. And Gurudev, he took this responsibility for his dear disciple. The mercy of Gurudev is our success, our potency, and our true fortune. The more is the mercy of Gurudev, the more will be our potency. It is our only strength. We should not depend on the strength of our own. This is the secret of the fortune and strength of the devotee. In Bhagavatam, it is said that Acharya Mang Vijanya. IDC course, you may remember that verse because Srila Prabhupada quoted it ever and anon. Acharya Mang Vijanya. One should accept the Acharya or Gurudev as good as Krishna. From that verse, we may take 4 instructive lessons. First lesson is one should accept the Acharya as the bona fide representative of Krishna. Second lesson, we never disrespect Gurudev. Third lesson, we should not accept our Gurudev as our enemy, or we should not be envious to Gurudev. And fourth lesson is we should not think Gurudev as ordinary person. These 4 lessons are very important for every disciple. Please take a note about it. 4 lessons. One should accept Gurudev as good as Krishna. One should not disrespect Gurudev in any way, even in dream, even in sleeping. Number 3, one should not be envious to his Gurudev. And number 4, one should not think his Gurudev as an ordinary person. If we remind these 4 points very carefully, then we should be able to save ourselves from any offense to our Gurudev. Not only for Gurudev, these are true for all the exalted devotees. Our consideration will not show that I will be respectful only to my Gurudev. And for all other exalted devotees, I would not bother about that. No, this is quite a wrong approach. Rather, our approach should be every exalted devotee is my Gurudev. One may be my Diksha Guru, and others may be Shiksha Guru. Guru is Guru. Diksha Guru is Guru. Shiksha Guru is also Guru. So we should pay our deep respect to all pure devotee and exalted devotee, to all Vaishnava. This is the very safe position. The next subheading is familiarity breeds contempt. This is also very important. Though in ISKCON, there is hardly any chance for us to be very familiar with our Gurudev. Because in ISKCON, Gurudev is so busy in his worldwide preaching that any devotee, especially any householder devotee, he hardly has any chance to be familiar with Gurudev. Rather, this is very good to us. This is very good to us that we never got a chance to be close to our Gurudev, to render some close seva, personal seva. It is rather good for us, not bad for us. Why? We shall discuss it now. Indra, the example of Indra, what was that? Indra was very much familiar with his Gurudev. We have already discussed. Brihaspati used to come to Indra every day, and Indra took it as granted. Indra thought that my Gurudev is like any ordinary demigod. And the demigod like Indra, they became victim to being too familiar with their spiritual master. So it is better to be in distance with spiritual master. It is rather better. Don't be sorrowful, thinking that I never got a chance to be close to my spiritual master. Rather, we should be thankful to Krishna because we are not so exalted, we are not so mature devotee. So if we got the chance to be close to our Gurudev, we might committed some offense to Gurudev. So it is rather better to be a distance to Gurudev. And from distance, we should pay our obeisances and we should try to abide by the order of the Gurudev to execute Bani Seva. To execute Bopu Seva, there is very risk. Very risk. And there is many examples in ISKCON also. The devotees, many devotees, not all, many devotees or some devotees who got that golden chance to serve his Gurudev very closely. One day, they discovered that their Gurudev is very ordinary person, like him. So this opportunity, it may not be beneficial to us. Rather, it may be detrimental to us. So it is better to be in distance. Maharaj described here that an immature disciple, because of being too familiar with the Guru, might begin to think that Guru depends upon him for advice. Just think, Gurudev may or might ask us to advise him for some matter. Why Gurudev did so? Just to inspire us, just to encourage us. But due to our immaturity, if we used to think that how intelligent I am, my Gurudev is asking for my advice, and now he is dependent on me. My intelligent advice helps Gurudev in his preaching mission. If we used to think in this way, that is the symptom of our fall down. The author gave the example of Uddhav. All of us heard about Uddhav. Uddhav was very intimate associate of Krishna. Very intimate associate of Supreme Lord. But in spite of that, Uddhav, not even in his dream, he thought that Krishna and Uddhav himself are almost equal. Uddhav never thought like that. This is the quality of Uddhav. This is the level of consciousness of Uddhav. He always maintained the required distance from Krishna. Though Krishna allowed him to be closer enough, but Uddhav never forgot about the divinity of Krishna. We should follow Uddhav. If we even got the chance to be close to Gurudev, we should never forget about the huge distance in consciousness between Gurudev and the disciple. Here, author gave an example of Rasikananda Prabhu, the dear disciple of Shyamananda Prabhu, and the disciple of Rasikananda Prabhu was the king of Utkal. King of Utkal was disciple of Rasikananda Prabhu. One time, Rasikananda Prabhu was giving a lecture, and his disciple, who was the king of the Utkal, he was listening to his Gurudev. At that time, the manager of the king entered the court. Seeing the manager, the king became inattentive to the lecture of the Gurudev. For a moment, Rasikananda Prabhu realized the inattention of his disciple. Though his disciple was a king, but Rasikananda gave the king a knock on his head. He punished the king by knocking on his head. And that knock was so hard that king was fainted. He became unconscious for some moment. And when he became conscious, king was crying. Rasikananda, he asked, "Why are you crying?" Then king apologized to his Gurudev, and he spoke that, "I am crying due to my offense. I was inattentive to you for a moment when I saw my manager. It is my great offense to your lotus feet, and so I am crying." Then Rasikananda forgave the king, embraced him, and blessed him. So this inattention, it came from the ignorance. The person who is very ignorant, he is very inattentive also. And from the inattention, it breeds a lot of problem to us. Inattention is the mother of lot of problem. Inattention chanting, inattention hearing, inattention reading, or any inattentive service to our spiritual master or any other Vaishnavas. These are very offensive. And here is a very, very beautiful example. Any powerful thing, if we use that powerful thing with attention, it will benefit us so much. But if we use those powerful things with inattention, it will harm us so much. As those things are very powerful. So it may be very beneficial to the extreme, or it may be harmful to the extreme, depending on how attentive we are or inattentive we are. We know the chanting the holy name of the God, it has super power. It is very much beneficial to us if we chant attentively. But if we chant inattentively, then it may be very harmful to us also. So we should be attentive. Then we should have the beneficial effect of hearing, chanting, and so on. Author gave here another example. This is the excellent skill of the author. He is provided with many examples, analogies, so that the subject matter may be clearer to us. The author gave us example of Iswar Puri, Srila Madhavendra Puri, and Ramchandra Puri. I hope many of you know about the fact of Ramchandra Puri and Iswar Puri. It is depicted in Chaitanya Charitamrita and very useful example to all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Anyway, we shall try to discuss the true story because it is very, very important to us. Srila Madhavendra Puri, he belonged to the Brahma Madhya Parampara, and all the acharyas of the parampara accepted Madhavendra Puri to be the pioneer of Prem Bhakti. Before appearing Madhavendra Puri, this parampara was full of ritualistic ceremonies, but there hardly was a sign of prema. Madhavendra Puripad, he brought this divine prema bhakti in our parampara. And Madhavendra Puripad was not a sadhak bhakta. was not a sadhan siddha bhakta, but he was a nitya siddha bhakta. Srila Madhavendra Puripad was the associate of Krishna in his spiritual kingdom. And he came us to bring the Prema Bhakti in our parampara. Madhavendra Puripad, he has many disciples like Iswar Puri, Ramchandra Puri, Paramananda Puri, and so on. Now we shall compare the behavior, the consciousness, the mentality of Iswar Puri and Ramchandra Puri. Also, we shall discuss about the consequences they received for their attitude. Madhavendra Puripad was so exalted that even Lord Nityananda, Lord Advaita Acharya, they took initiation from Madhavendra Puripad. When Nityananda Prabhu went to the Vrindavan, he went to the many famous temples in Vrindavan. He was dissatisfied. Why? Because he could not Krishna. He could not find Krishna in any temple of the Vrindavan. When he met with Madhavendra Puripad, Lord Nityananda Prabhu announced that I never find Krishna in any temple of Vrindavan. But I found Krishna in your heart. Krishna is in your heart. A pure devotee like you carries Krishna always within his heart. In this way, Lord Nityananda embraced Madhavendra Puripad and took initiation from Madhavendra Puripad. When Madhavendra Puripad was very ill due to his age, he was suffering much, and Madhavendra Puripad was unable to go to the washroom. So old he was. At that time, Iswar Puripad served him as his very dear servant. Here it is said that Madhavendra Puripad was unable to move and do things on his own. So he required service from his disciple. Who is ready to serve his Gurudev? Menial service. To serve menial service is not very easy, especially if one has to serve day by day at every moment. It is not very easy. But Iswar Puripad voluntarily took this service. Not that anyone requested him to took this service, not that Gurudev ordered him to took this service. Iswar Puripad voluntarily came forward to took this menial service to his Gurudev. Out of his genuine devotion and love, every day he personally cleaned up his Guru's stool and urine. Every day, every time. Though Madhavendra Puripad had a lot of disciples, but only Iswar Puri was always there beside his Gurudev to clean up his stools and urines day by day, month after month. Not only that, Iswar Puri always chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra and reminded his Gurudev about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And Iswar Puri accepted this opportunity as the mercy of Krishna that he got to serve his Gurudev so intimately. At that time, Madhavendra Puripad often used to cry for Krishna. Iswar Puripad, due to his higher consciousness, felt the agony of his Gurudev for being in distance from Krishna. He felt the real cause behind this crying. But Ramchandra Puri, due to the lacking of his consciousness, he thought that his Gurudev is crying out of his bodily pain, out of his suffering. And Ramchandra Puri dared tried to advise his Gurudev that, oh my Gurudev, do you know you are not the body, you are the Brahma, you are the soul. So why you are crying for your bodily pain? Just see. Disciple is trying to advise his Gurudev about Brahma, about Krishna. And what was the response of Gurudev? Madhavendra Puri was so disturbed, so angry with his unqualified disciple Ramchandra Puri that he shouted, "Get out from here. Just get lost. I don't want to see your face anymore. Please get out from here." Madhavendra Puripad was so disturbed, so annoyed with him that he asked him to get out from that room. In this way, the Ramchandra Puri received the condemnation of his Gurudev, whereas Iswar Puri received the mercy and benediction from his Gurudev. One may ask, what is the cause behind the curse of Gurudev? Actually, for a bona fide guru or for a exalted Vaishnav, this curse is also type of blessing. A teacher in the classroom, he revered the first boy and he punished the last boy. But we know that punishment is also for the benefit of the last boy. If the teacher does not punish the last boy, then how? So in this way, the punishment is also a kind of blessing. When Gurudev scolded his disciple or chastised his disciple, behind the chastisement, the only purpose of the Gurudev is to correct his immature disciple. In this way, when Gurudev Madhavendra Puripad observed consciousness about Ramchandra Puri, then he was to punish Ramchandra Puri just to rectify him. Because if he did not punish him and if he did not ask him to get out from the room, then Ramchandra Puri would commit many more offences. To save him from many more offences, Gurudev asked him to get out from his room. So this is also the mercy of Gurudev to his disciple. Iswar Puri get mercy, and Ramchandra Puri, he also get mercy, but in some another form. Anyway, Ramchandra Puri did not change his habit. Very instructive example for us also. Point. I am audible? Okay. I was muted somehow. So this is the improvement of a fault finder. Firstly, he wanted to find fault from the surrounding devotees. Then he used to find to his Gurudev and lastly to Krishna. In this way, his fall down is assured. Same is the case for Ramchandra Puri also. Ramchandra Puri was very famous for fault finding attitude. He wanted he wanted to find faults from Gurudev, and Gurudev cursed him.
Lastly, Ramchandra Puri went to Jagannath Puri Dham. At that time,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present in Jagannath Puri Dham with many of his very exalted devotees. Ramchandra Puri went there. He saw blessings from his Gurudev. That event, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Iswar Puri as his Gurudev. Madhavendra Puri blessed Iswar Puri so much that even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Iswar Puri as his spiritual master. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Ramchandra Puri, who was eventually the god brother of Iswar Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, according to the Vaishnava protocol, he showed his respect to Ramchandra Puri as if he was also his Gurudev. Because we know that we should pay our respect to the god brother of my Gurudev as my Gurudev. This is the Vaishnava protocol. Ramchandra Puri was the god brother of the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed the respect to Ramchandra Puri as if he was like his Gurudev. And Ramchandra Puri enjoyed this. He thinks himself so exalted that he can advise Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even he can find fault between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Habit is a second nature. This is very tough to change our habit. So Ramchandra Puri, with his dangerous habit, he continued to find fault between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates in Jagannath Puri Dham. The associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to invite Mahaprabhu for some prasad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his respect to Ramchandra Puri. So the devotees of Jagannath Puri Dham, they also respected him very much. And when they invited Mahaprabhu, he invited Ramchandra Puri also for lunch prasadam. After having Jagannath Prasad, Ramchandra Puri used to criticize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for having so much prasad. He used to advise Mahaprabhu that this is very dangerous for a sannyasi, having so much amount of prasad. Just imagine his audacity. He is criticizing God because he has already criticized his Gurudev and he got first class first in that exam. And his Gurudev left him and sent him to any other else. So he came to Jagannath Puri and now he is sitting for the exam to criticize the God. And he used to criticize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that it is not better for a sannyasi to have so much amount of prasad. This is just sense gratification and so on. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed respect to him and he accepted his words. He instructed his servant Govinda. From the very next day, I would accept only 1/4 amount of the Mahaprasad, which I have accepted today. So then and there, he minimized the amount of Mahaprasad to only 25%. All the devotees were very much sorrowful for this incident. But Ramchandra Puri, he was not stopped just after minimizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's diet. He was always busy to find some more faults within Mahaprabhu or within any other devotees. He took this tough job and responsibility to correct every person of the world except himself. So, taking this holy responsibility, he used to find fault between everyone. One day, he came to the Gambhira where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resided. The door was locked, and in the courtyard, there were some ants. It is very natural. Ants or insect, they may be anywhere, they may be in any house for many reasons, mainly for a householder or temples, there may be some ants or insects. But when a fault finder like Ramchandra Puri saw that some ants are coming out from the locked room of Mahaprabhu, he imagined by his supernatural talent that there might be some sweets within the locked room. And for those sweets, the ants entered the room and now they are coming out. And just by this imagination, Ramchandra Puri started to criticize even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said that, is it the duty of a sannyasi to hide some sweets within the room and inviting ants for those sweets? In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramchandra Puri criticized Mahaprabhu day by day. In the earlier phenomenon, he was cursed by his Gurudev, and now he was being cursed by all the Vaishnavas of Jagannath Puri. They were very much annoyed with him. Very much annoyed with him. But Mahaprabhu, his conduct was so exemplary that whenever he met Ramchandra Puri, he showed his respect to him. Because he was the god brother of his spiritual master. But except Mahaprabhu, all other devotees, they were very much disturbed and annoyed with the Ramchandra Puri. In this way, Ramchandra Puri, throughout his life, he used to criticize all others. And his heart was devoid of love of God. His heart was totally empty. He had only some dry knowledges like all other Gyanis or Mayavadis. Though Iswar Puri received the pure love to Godhead, but Ramchandra Puri was deprived of pure love of Godhead. His habit to criticize others made him deprived of it. The author depicted here the main cause. Where is it? Yes, author depicted here. We should always think that we are what we are by the mercy of my spiritual master. We are what we are only due to the mercy of spiritual master. Not by the strength of our own. We may occupy some post in our spiritual institution. We may occupy some position. But those posts and positions are not due to our talent, not due to our potency, but it is only due to the mercy of Gurudev. Many times it may happen that when an officer or some manager or an engineer joined ISKCON, Gurudev know very well he enjoyed a very good position in his material life. Now he joined ISKCON, the spiritual organization. So Gurudev may offer that neophyte devotee a good position in ISKCON also, just to keep him in this society. Otherwise, since he was habituated in his previous life, his post was very much exalted. So he may seek in ISKCON some post and some position. So Gurudev mercifully may give him some post and position. That does not mean that by his spiritual talent and spiritual height, he acquired this. No. This is only due to the mercy of Gurudev. So we should not become puffed up with some false pride that how great I am. that I was honored by this post and position. No, this is a very wrong attempt. Right attempt is, though I have no qualification, but my Gurudev mercifully rewarded me this position. And also, we should always be careful that there is a huge difference between the position of the master and the servant. We should always careful about this difference in position. If we get chance to serve our Gurudev intimately, then we may misjudge our Gurudev. We eat and Gurudev also eat. We sleep, Gurudev also sleep. We fall sick, Gurudev also falls sick. Any devotee may think, what is the difference between me and Gurudev? I get angry, Gurudev also get angry. So almost same. In this way, if he became careless about the difference of consciousness between Gurudev and him, then it may be very harmful for his spiritual journey. The author gave an example. Very good, very nice example. For a little boy, his father appointed a teacher and asked the teacher to teach his son the English alphabets. Teacher came and teacher guided him how to write the A, B, C, D, etc. The student, under the guidance of the teacher, he wrote A, B, C, D many times. After 1 hour, the class ended. The teacher went to his house and the student complained to his father, my dear father, all the while I used to write A, B, C, D and my teacher did not write anything. Then what is the role of my teacher? I labor hard, but my teacher just from a distance asked me to write A, B, C, D, etc. And you gave my teacher handsome amount of money. What is the cause? Rather, you give this money to me because I labor hard. I write the board A, B, C, D. My teacher did not write anything. So without writing anything, he got huge amount of money. But I wrote so many times A, B, C, D, I got nothing. Due to his ignorance, a student may complain to his father like this. But his father may explain to his son that, my dear son, without the help of your teacher, you will not be able to write A, B, C, D. Your teacher is so learned, but to teach you, he acted just like you. He is MA in English, but he acted like a little boy to teach you the English alphabet. In this way, our spiritual master, his position is so high, his consciousness is so high. He is a pure devotee, Uttam Bhakta. But for preaching purpose, he came down to the stage of Madhyam Adhikari. Because any Uttam Adhikari cannot preach. The consciousness of Uttam Adhikari is like that. He considers every person as a devotee of Krishna, except himself. This is the consciousness of Uttam Adhikari. As Uttam Adhikari consider everyone as the devotee of Krishna, so there is no question of preaching. In Mayapur, everyone is devotee of Krishna. So there is hardly any chance to preach. But where everyone is ignorant about Krishna, there is a huge chance to preach. So Uttam Adhikari cannot preach. But due to the order of Gurudev, Uttam Adhikari wants to preach, and for the preaching purpose, for the time being, he came down to the stage of Madhyam Adhikari. Uttam Adhikari cannot find fault into any person, but Madhyam Adhikari can. So Uttam Adhikari came to the stage of Madhyam Adhikari, and he preached to us. He punished us if necessary. He fault our fines. He used to correct us, and in this way, Gurudev scolded his devotees. He punished his devotees. He chastised his disciples. But that does not mean that Gurudev is in Madhyam Adhikari stage. No, he is Uttam Adhikari. But for our benefit, he came to Madhyam Adhikari stage for that time being. But it is not the actual position of Gurudev. In this way, we should be ever vigilant, ever careful about the position of Guru and other senior Vaishnava, exalted devotee. We should consider ourselves as very much offender to all other devotees. In this way, we should be alert not to offend more in future, to show respect to all the devotees, to serve the devotees, and in this way, to have mercy of the devotees. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, mercy is the only requirement to the devotee. An author here also depicted who is eligible to seek mercy from Gurudev. Vishwanath Chakraborty Thakur. He said that when a disciple satisfied his Gurudev by his service, then he should seek for the mercy of Gurudev. Otherwise, one should not seek his mercy. Condition applied. When by our service we satisfy our Gurudev, then only there is a chance to have the mercy of Gurudev. So our only attempt should be to serve all the devotees. And if we continue our serving, then without prayer, mercy will come. But if we do not serve and just pray, please give me your blessing, please bestow your mercy, this prayer will not give any benediction to us. So we should serve devotees, not only to pray devotees. Okay. Almost third chapter is completed here. There is no compulsory homework, but still, if you want, you can share your realization. I have read the realizations of many devotees. You have very wonderfully noted down about the previous class. Not compulsory, but if you wish, you may continue it. But I will request you to take it compulsory to participate in the quiz. Okay. And I have seen that most of you have participated in the quiz and you scored a good marks. Is very good. So if you have any question or queries, you may raise your hand. Konak Kanti Bagji Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, what is your question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
So I have learned a lot from your this pravachan today, and I have a doubt, a problem here, a confusion regarding this familiarity with guru and disciple. And the subtitle was familiarity breeds contempt. So, but the thing is that in one place you told us that guru needs to test his disciple, and disciple also needs to test his guru. And also in Bhagavad Gita, we have learned from verse 34 of chapter 4, Tadvidhi pranipatena puriprasnana shevaya, etc. So it indicates that by surrendering oneself, one has to ask questions to Gurudev and serve him, and the Guru will be satisfied and will enlighten the disciple. But if there is no familiarity, there is no closeness, there is no meeting with Guru and Shesho, Guru and disciple, then how this can happen? And so that is my question and confusion. So if there is no meeting, it becomes a sort of distance education, isn't it? So that is my confusion, that is my problem.
Okay, thank you for your nice question. There should be meeting. Meeting will be there. Classes will be there. But attending in a meeting with some hundreds of devotees, it does not ensure us that I am very familiar with my Gurudev. Generally, when Gurudev used to give a class, there may be some hundreds of devotees. Okay. So we must join the class. We must hear Gurudev with our other devotees. But that does not mean that I got some very intimate service to Gurudev. To serve Gurudev, it does not mean that to serve the Bopu of the Gurudev. Bopu Seva is very limited, but Bani Seva is very wide. When we follow the instructions of Gurudev, that is, we are serving Gurudev. And Bani Seva, it is eternal. Gurudev may left his body one day, then his Bopu Seva will be stopped forever, but Bani Seva will be continued. So this is our protocol to give more importance of Bani Seva. And regarding Bani Seva, this possibility of being familiar to Gurudev or the possibility of committing any offense, it is less than Bopu Seva. Okay. So we are not saying that if Gurudev wants some Bopu Seva from me, I will reject him. No. There is no question of reject Gurudev, order of Gurudev. But if Gurudev choiced me to perform some Bopu Seva, I shall be highly cautious that by some good fortune, I got the chance. But I should be very cautious and alert about the huge distance of consciousness from my Gurudev and myself. If we become very much conscious and alert, then we may have avoid the probability of committing any offense. Is it clear?
Okay, Prabhuji, but I think nowadays these one-to-one, these reactions or face-to-face, this conversation, like ancient days, that is not possible nowadays, I think.
Possible, it is possible, but probability is not very large.
Yes.
Some fortunate soul, mainly in foreign, when Gurudev is in West Bengal, he is surrounded by thousands and hundreds of devotees. But when Gurudev went to the foreign country in USA, London, then the devotees of USA and London and Europe, they got several chances to serve his Gurudev very intimately. Because in those places, Gurudev is not surrounded by hundreds of devotees. There are few devotees, maybe 2, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. So in foreign or in abroad, devotees got chances to serve Gurudev intimately. But we have to be alert that Iswar Puri and Ramchandra Puri, they both got the chance to be intimate to their Guru. We should follow Iswar Puri, not Ramchandra Puri. This is our appeal. Even if we get chance to serve Gurudev, we should follow Iswar Puri. We should not follow Ramchandra Puri. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Hari Bol. Shreyoshi, Hare Krishna. What is your problem?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, one thing that is said that Krishna is no different than Gurudeva. I mean, Gurudeva is also the representative of Krishna. This thing I cannot understand. So, Prabhuji, would you mind explaining this?
Yeah. Actually, Gurudev is the expansion of Paramatma. Okay. Paramatma is there in our heart beside soul. Soul and super soul, they are sitting in our heart side by side. The function of super soul is to guide the soul. And he is guiding always. But as our consciousness is not so high, we cannot hear the words of super soul. And the super soul is judging the consciousness of soul, the attitude of soul. When the super soul realizes that the soul is very serious to know Krishna, to know Vrindavan, and to progress in spiritual path, then super soul became very happy. And he started to guide him. But he realized that he is not in a consciousness at that moment to realize my message. So super soul turned into a Gurudev. Super soul manifested himself to be a living guru just to guide these serious souls. Is it clear? Super soul manifests himself within a guru, within a pure devotee. And pure devotee became guru. In ISKCON, now there may be 30 or 40 guru, maybe roughly. That does not mean that beside these 30 and 40 guru, there are no other guru. There are many exalted devotee. যেই কৃষ্ণ তত্ত্ববেত্তা সেই গুরু হয়. Who knows Krishna very well, he is guru. He may not be in a formal position of guru according to ISKCON GBC protocol. He may not be a formal protocol to be a guru, but he is teaching to all the devotees. That is the function of guru. Shiksha guru. Okay. There is a Maharaj, you may know, Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj. Have you heard his name? Okay. His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj is a very exalted devotee, no doubt. And several thousands of devotees, they are awaiting for a long time for taking initiation from him. Okay. But for some internal reasons, ISKCON GBC is not ready to recognize him as a guru. That does not mean that he is not a guru. Okay, he is not a position of Dikha guru for time being, but he is already guru. Otherwise, how he is guiding thousands of devotees? Okay, so he may not be formal guru, but informal guru is also guru. যেই কৃষ্ণ তত্ত্ববেত্তা সেই গুরু হয়. So when a devotee will be pure enough that his thinking are so clear, his realizations are so high, then super soul took his charge. Super soul manifested in him and guide all other serious souls through that particular devotee soul. So we should think all the guru as the expansion of super soul, paramatma. Clear? In this way, we used to say every guru is one tattva, paramatma tattva. We should not see the guru as his body. If we look after the body, then there are many gurus. But if we look on the tattva, then there is one tattva, paramatma tattva, one guru. Okay? Thank you. Rangolika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Dandavad.
Firstly, very much thankful to you for this lovely class and for this lovely arrangement also. And Prabhuji, here is a question from me that sometimes we notice such devotees like Ramchandra Puri or else, and we are being so much irritated by this kind of annoying devotee, and they always trying to involve herself to find the faults or mistakes from another devotees and also from me, behind me also. But I am trying to avoid her. But what can I do? How could I tackle this situation by maintaining my Vaishnav etiquette?
Okay.
please.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself set the example. He showed Ramchandra Puri his respect. So, amanina manodena, we should show my respect to all other. But to save myself from this consciousness, so that I may not be infected by him or her, I should keep safe distance with that devotee, that fault finder devotee, because our capacity is very limited, and as we are not in a position not to be infected by other, we are not in that position. Rather, we are in a position very easily we may be infected to others. So we should have some safeguards, and the best safeguard is to keep safe distance. I will never humiliate anyone. I will show him my respect, and I will protect myself from the close association of that devotee. Okay, that should be my duty. Okay, thank you very much for attentive hearing. Now we shall close this program by chanting Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. All glories to the all assembled devotees, all glories to the Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada